What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's another high-end retouching tutorial in Photoshop, and I'm going to be showing you how to edit your images. So just basic step, what you need to know, and this can actually help you in your normal edit. So let's get started. First thing is what needed to be fixed. Observe what you need to fix. Now, once we take a very close look at the image, we know that her face is very, very rough. She has some blemishes, and the skin tones. I think the makeup she put on is quite different from the color of her um, skin and normal body, which is the neck part, and we need to just get the right color correction. Also, if you take a look at the eyes, it's just not white the way it should be. Okay, so a lot of things need to be corrected in the image. So we're going to be fixing that in a minute. So just go along as I explain and as I fix the photo. So first thing I'm going to be doing is to correct the color. So I'm going to be using the hue and saturation for that. And I like correcting the colors a lot. So the hue and saturation. I'm just going to pick the color I want to correct and then increase the slider, and there you go. Now you can see that the places that are different are the green side. You can see the green side. It simply means they have different colors. And even if she's putting on makeup at this other side, it's still uniform and it's still blending with the color of the skin. So therefore we need to get all this place to look like this other part of the skin. All right, so now I'm going to increase the slider and just get just that part alone. And you can see that this should be the part selected. So we have before and after. And now we can correct the part by hitting 0, making this one 0. And then I'm going to take the slider back. Okay, so this should be good for me. And we could desaturate it a little bit to get it to look good. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to grab in the color, selective color adjustment layer. And because the color of our skin is red, I'm going to go to the red channel and I'm going to try to balance it so it look more like the normal melanin brownish skin. So we're going to focus more on the magenta, and I'm going to take it forward, and then you can see the brown skin pop up. Okay, and we can as well introduce some cyan or take away some cyan. Let's add some cyan to it. So 12, let's leave it at 12. And the yellows, we could bring down the yellows a bit. If you increase the yellow, it's going to look like this. I think I like the yellows, the yellow skin tones. If you take away, it looks like this. So I think we should leave it at somewhere around 10 should be fine. And the black focus more on the darker side. And if you take it forward, it's going to make the image look the same in lightning, and if you take it forward, it's going to introduce. So I will take it forward to +7 to get more depth and make it look more 3D. And I'm not going to go to the yellows, I'm just going to leave the red, and I'm going to group these two together, and I'm going to create a stem visible layer for that. I can turn it off and we move from here to here. So we've corrected a lot of colors. Look at before and then look at the after. So everything, there is no like red and brown color or yellow color. Everything have the same co color or the same skin tone. Okay, so now I'm gonna do frequency separation. Okay, so before I do the frequency separation, I would have loved to correct the color profile using the solid color adjustment layer. So I'm gonna hit OK, just any color, just create the solid color and turn it off. Double click on it and choose where you know it should be white. We can use this place or we can use the highs. So whichever one, let's just try and use the highs and hit OK, turn it off and change the blending mode to divide. And now we have it like this, which is too bright. And we're going to go inside and under the brightness, we're going to increase it up. So we have, yeah, okay, so let's zoom it in, and this is before, then this is after. Just gives you the real color of the um, I'm going to increase it up again, and we can add some hue and saturation and clip it. And one thing about it, the more you introduce the saturation, the more it affects the image. So you can see, introduce the saturation, the more it affects the image. So I could decrease the saturation if we want more color from the previous one. And this is how it's just going to look like. Nothing so different from the other one. So you can leave it like this, or we could just turn the two off, and then let's create another one, solid color, and it's okay. Turn it off, double click, and let's select this as yeah, the cloth here, and it's okay. Turn it back on, change the blending mode to divide, and we have it like this. So we have before and then after. So more like, I think the first one, this one is just looking good because it gives us the real lightning. So I'm gonna delete the first one, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. But we can decrease the opacity. So let's just try and decrease the opacity a bit. And of this one, let's decrease the opacity. Okay, so this is okay for me. I'm going to create a stem visible layer, and then I'm going to do the frequency separation. So I'm going to turn this off, turn this off, turn this off. So this we have here. All right, so frequency separation, Control J twice, name one color, COLOR, hit enter, name this one texture for frequency separation, and I'm going to group the two together and rename it frequency separation, and I'm going to open it back. For the color, I'm going to turn off the texture layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and I'm going to blur it out, so just a little bit. I think that should be okay, and hit enter, go to the texture, turn it back on, go to image, apply image, and under the merge, select the color. Under the blending mode, select subtract, hit OK, change the blending mode to linear light, and there we go. So the color first, let's select the mixer to brush, and let's try and balance the skin. I'm going to do this quickly. Sometimes I avoid the highlight, and sometimes I just paint according to the contour of the skin. So you can do this, take your time. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to pause and I'm going to be fast about it. All right, so I'm done with the frequency separation, and here we go from here to here. Sorry, from here to here. So that's the frequency separation. So one thing I also noticed is I think we still have some little bit of yellow on the screen, on the skin. So I'm just going to grab the hue and saturation again and see if we can correct that. I'm just going to select that side, increase. All right, yes, I can see that we still have some kind of yellow. So I'm just going to try and get only that range. Okay, so that's the range there, and it's 0 on the keyboard. And let's try and desaturate first of all to see if that solves the solution. Okay, that didn't solve. Let's try and make, okay, so this should be alright, and this, okay. I think this did the solution. Yeah, it's worked. All right, so now we're good. I'm going to create a stem visible layer for that, and we can go ahead and do our normal dodging and burning, but let's do the eyes whitening. Let's try and whitening the eyes. So for that, I'm going to grab the photo filter and go to the 82. It's okay. Ahead again, create the black and white adjustment. It's okay. And I'm going to group these two together, open it up. I'm going to grab the solid color adjustment. It's okay. But I'm going to turn this one off. Now let's create a mask for the group and invert the mask. Control I. Invert the mask. Grab the normal brush, and we're going to paint on the eyes. Open it up and paint on the eyes like this. this one. Okay, so now double click on this one on the color picker, select this color, select the color of the eyes. Let's take it up a little bit to avoid it coming out. Turn it on. Yeah, it looks like this. And then go to divide. Okay, so let's zoom out and let's find the sweet spot for it. I'm going to take it up because I want to make it look natural, not all the way up, just when it starts to look white. Let's turn this off. All right, so now turning the black and white layer off. I think that's looking more realistic. So I'm going to decrease that. Let's decrease it a little bit. So now have it. It's good. The eyes now can decrease. Let's just leave it at 96. Okay, so that's that. Now we can create a style visible layer. Control Shift Alternate E, and let's go do some camera raw filter editing. So under the camera raw filter, go to the basic tab. Let's give it some more highlight, not too much, just a bit. And I'm going to decrease the white. I just want the highlight and the shadows. Let's bring it up a little bit. And let's see about the black. Let's bring the blacks down, same as the white. Okay, and bring this down too. Okay, so now I'm going to increase the texture a bit, and let's see. We could create, go to the color mixer, and let's start with the yellow. When we go to the hue of the yellow, go to the hue and make the red, the orange look more yellow. If you take it back, it's going to look reddish. I don't want that. So make it look yellow, make the yellow look yellow, and we can go to, let's see, bringing it down a little. Yes, I think we should use it as -4, and we can decrease or increase it. Let's just leave it at -2 and increase the yellow for the red. Okay, so this is looking okay for me, and then I'm going to hit OK on the keyboard, and we have that dimension. All right, so now let's just group everything from here to here, group it, turn it off, and then we have from this side to this side. Okay, so from there to here. One thing I would like to correct is to create a mask for it. Let's create a mask, and I'm going to hide it because I want the color of the lips back. So hit X on the keyboard to bring back the color of the lips, something like this. Yeah, so let's see some other things we need to bring back. I think the eye color and this one. Okay, and let's see. So this is also good. We can bring back the color of the, let's just leave that one. All right, so now we have this one. Okay, now we can do some color grading. Go ahead, grab some color balance. Yeah, let's create a style visible layer first of all. Control Shift Alternate E, and then turn on the color balance. Go ahead, and let's start with the highlights. I'm going to introduce some green and some blues. Let's go to the mid-tones. Let's introduce some yellows and just little adjustment. I'm going to dial in some green and give him some cyan. Yes. Go to the shadows. Let's put some blues, and yeah, this one looks better. Okay, and this one, I think I'm good like this. So this is before, and then this is after. We just color grading. I'm going to create a style visible layer, turn on off, and let's see from here to here. It's amazing, right? Okay, so thank you guys for watching. This is how I do my retouching in Photoshop. See you in our next video. Once again, this is ASAS.